Today is April 29, 2025. I will cover the history of Bitcoin in about 5 minutes. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel and select all notifications. On January 3rd, 2009, a revolutionary moment occurred. The Genesis block, the very first Bitcoin block, was mined by an unknown figure known as Satoshi Nakamoto. But the Genesis block was only the beginning. What happened after it set off a chain reaction that would eventually reshape the world of finance, technology, and human freedom? In the early months after the Genesis block, Bitcoin was virtually worthless. No exchanges, no price, no real market. Just a group of cryptography enthusiasts mining coins on personal computers. In January 2009, Satoshi mined thousands of Bitcoin, but there was no immediate use for them. It was a quiet experiment in decentralized money. On January 12, 2009, just 9 days after the Genesis block, Satoshi Nakamoto sent 10 Bitcoin to Hal Finney, a respected cryptographer and early Bitcoin supporter. It was the first Bitcoin transaction ever made, a simple, historic moment that proved the technology actually worked. In 2010, Bitcoin finally got a price. It traded for less than 1 cent. On May 22, 2010, famously known as Bitcoin Pizza Day, a programmer named Laszlo Hanyecz paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, a transaction worth almost $1 billion today, April 29, 2025. It gave Bitcoin its first real-world value, but few recognized its future potential. Later that year, the first Bitcoin exchanges appeared, such as BitcoinMarket.com. Bitcoin was starting to be bought and sold, and prices began to fluctuate. Still, it remained a niche technology, mostly discussed in cryptography forums and underground communities. As Bitcoin gained a small following, it also faced challenges. Skepticism was everywhere. Early hacks, such as the 2011 Mt. Gox breach, shook confidence. Regulators started paying attention. Bitcoin's reputation as a currency for hackers and black markets began to take hold. Soon, imitators arrived. In 2011, the first altcoins were created, like Namecoin and Litecoin. Each claimed to improve on Bitcoin in some way: faster transactions, different mining algorithms, enhanced privacy. The crypto ecosystem was starting to expand beyond Bitcoin alone. In late 2013, Bitcoin surged to over $1,000 for the first time. Mainstream media finally took notice. Bitcoin was no longer a secret, but the volatility was extreme. Prices crashed just as quickly, and skepticism about its future returned. Still, the seed had been planted in public consciousness. From 2014 onward, financial institutions and governments began to study Bitcoin more seriously. Some sought to regulate it. Others sought to ban it. Meanwhile, startups began to build infrastructure: wallets, exchanges, merchant payment systems. Bitcoin was evolving from a hobbyist project into a potential financial revolution. Internally, the Bitcoin community faced major debates about scaling. Should Bitcoin handle more transactions by increasing block size, or stay small and decentralized? This led to the famous block size wars, which ultimately kept Bitcoin conservative in design, leading to forks like Bitcoin Cash. By 2017, Bitcoin's narrative shifted. No longer just peer-to-peer cash, it was increasingly seen as digital gold, a scarce, secure store of value. Bitcoin reached $20,000 in late 2017, fueled by a speculative frenzy and the ICO boom. Then a brutal bear market followed, testing the faith of early adopters. In 2020, Bitcoin crossed into the mainstream financial world. Major companies like MicroStrategy, Tesla, and Square added Bitcoin to their balance sheets. Institutional investors began treating it as a legitimate asset class, not just an experiment. Bitcoin was becoming too big to ignore. Today, Bitcoin is both a symbol and a working system. It's used for remittances, savings, censorship resistance, and a hedge against inflation. Layer 2 technologies like the Lightning Network have enabled faster, cheaper payments. Bitcoin has grown from an idea into a global force. From a humble Genesis block to a global movement, Bitcoin's journey is still unfolding. What lies ahead remains promising. One thing is clear: the world will never be the same. Bitcoin to the moon and beyond. Until next time, thank you for watching.